Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and I am so excited to be celebrating 10 years of meaningful conversations with you. As we step into our new primetime hour, it's such an honor to share this exciting new chapter with you. So whether you're starting your day out, headed to work, or listening from wherever you are, this hour is designed to bring you thoughtful dialogue, fresh insight, and inspiring stories so you can make every moment count. So thank you for being here with me today, and let's dive in. We're here today with special guest, Alan Sinclair, who's here to share with us his new book, Spiritual Strength for Everyday Life: Simple Practices to Transform Stress, Strengthen Your Mind, and Restore Inner Balance. What if finding more peace, resilience, and purpose doesn't require you to change your entire life, but simply use a simple daily practice that strengthens your spirit, especially in life's most difficult moments? Well, today's guest is here to share with us just that. Alan Sinclair writes reflective nonfiction for people seeking steadiness in an unsteady world. After decades of serving as a retired U.S. Army officer, registered nurse, volunteer EMT and firefighter, and farmer, Alan's work is shaped by lived experience with stress, caregiving, uncertainty, and resilience. So welcome to the show, Alan Sinclair.
Thank you very much, Marianne. It is great to be with you this morning. It's such a pleasure. And, your mantra that I see on your website and your Facebook, make every moment count, really coincides with my book that we're going to be talking about today of simple practices to transform stress, strengthen one's mind, and restore an individual's inner balance. And that is what I hope your listeners will get from my discussion with you today.
Well, once I heard about your book, I knew we needed to talk. And thank you, by the way, for the book. I love it. It is such a profound read. But before we dive into that, why don't you share a little bit about yourself? Who's the man behind these pages?
Well, I consider myself an ordinary man trying to honestly share what life has taught me through the many different careers that I've had. I've been an Army officer, registered nurse, a workplace wellness business owner, and now I'm a beekeeper. And I forgot one very important thing that my wife and I spent doing, and that's being a sustainable farmer in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. Going back, I'm now, as I mentioned, a honeybee keeper, a volunteer EMT, and a volunteer firefighter with our local volunteer fire station in eastern North Carolina. Looking back, I do not believe that these are really separate careers anymore. I once did, but I don't now. I see them as one lifelong opportunity to serve people during difficult moments. And eventually, I realized that the lessons life has taught me, and life is the greatest teacher that I've had, in my opinion, might actually help someone else going through difficult times and successes. And that's really why I became an author. I want to share that with other people, and hopefully it will save them from a lot of the pain that I have gone through.
Well, you have definitely had a life of service. Looking back, what thread connects all those chapters of your life?
I believe that it is a life of service, and it is that I have, since I began working at a young age of 7, which was something I thoroughly enjoyed in the hay fields, cotton fields, and tobacco fields of South Georgia. I have wanted to help people. My grandmother taught me that service was paramount. And my grandfather taught me a strong work ethic. It is in my DNA, and that has been the common thread throughout my life. And I hope to continue that thread through my writing.
So, in your book, you mention how spirituality means something specific. Can you share on that with us?
Certainly. I get asked that question a lot. Why did I use the word spirituality as in the title of my book? And, you know, spiritual means different things to different people. To me, I don't mean it as doctrine or necessarily religious belief. When I use the word spiritual, I'm talking about one's inner life, the part of us that seeks meaning, peace, hope, purpose, and connection. For many people, that does include a relationship with God, as I believe. For others, though, and this is important to me that people realize, it includes reconnecting with nature, one of the greatest teachers and healers that we have, and by and large free for our use. Means connections with loved ones, means a person's deepest values, or your listener's inner strengths that often become hidden beneath the pressures of everyday life. Today, many people would describe what's going on as we're on a treadmill, a rat's race. We're in the middle of a circle. We're the center of a circle. And arrows are coming at us, demanding our time, our decisions, our input. And it's difficult to manage all that. What my purpose in using the word spiritual is, once again, it's not to tell people what to believe. It's to help them cultivate their inner strength so that they may live with greater inner peace, hope, and purpose, and to remind them, and this is very important to me because of where we find ourselves, especially our young and people who are in high stress areas find themselves involved in high stress today for whatever reason, that it's never too late to return to what matters most and to their inner strength.
That's such an important piece. It has me kind of thinking, after a lifetime of serving others, why did you decide now was the time to write this book?
Marianne, that is a very significant and important question because it brings an important fact that I've been looking at writing this because in looking back over my life within the past few years, because had the pleasure of being around for many decades now, and looking back, I felt that I could share a lot of this information that would be beneficial from others so that they wouldn't suffer. They could shorten some of the difficult times that they had are having. But then the factor that really triggered this was twofold. I had a very close nephew. I changed his diapers when he was a baby, and he was only in his 60s, and he developed terminal cancer. And it was a very difficult final 6 months. Very difficult final 6 months. That was traumatic for me. It was the loss of a very close person. And then another very close, intimate family person. We were having a discussion during that same period of time. And I was emphasizing the importance of not letting past trauma dictate the future. And unfortunately, I had played a role in some of that trauma. And when we finished the interaction, it was without resolve. And that led me to immediately start writing this book. I had to start putting it down on paper because it had to bring clarity to my mental well-being. And it was in hopes that this person, family, and others struggling with clarity in what their purpose is, in helping them to re-regulate their life and to find their meaning once again. Because, it's the airplane story. The stewardesses advise you in the safety thing. You must take care of yourself first with the oxygen mask before you can take care of anyone else. It's the same way. You must find some method to heal yourself and to find clarity in what your purpose is in life and find your inner strength. And I believe my practices, and that's the reason I made them so simple. And I prefer the soft cover on my book because I can bend the pages, and use that as a workbook. And I do use it, and I have found it helpful. And I wanted to make it simple and straightforward, not complex. Oftentimes we join a gym and we pay good money. And our sincere intention is to go there 2-3 times a week without fail. And we consciously know that it's going to take 6 weeks at least for it to become habitual. I wanted something simpler that people could use today, that they could start now, even while they're listening to us. And my simple practices, I think, go to that because repetition over time becomes a mental habit. And if we want change in our life, if we want to restore purpose that is wholesome to us as a human being, then we need to start now with something simple that we can use multiple times throughout the day to our benefit that will become habitual in our going forward.
Well, let me just say I'm so sorry for your loss. That sounds like that was a very difficult time that you and your family went through.
Thank you. Many people are going through similar things. And, one of the groups of people that I wrote my book for are caretakers. Within the past few days, I had some readers reach out to me via email, and they sent me a photocopy of 2 pages in my book that they had forwarded to 2 sets of family members who are now caretakers of their husbands. And the caretakers are going through difficult times. The husbands are going through significant difficult times. And the 2 pages that they sent was how to intervene, simple practices to intervene when significant stress you face every day. And they've already had feedback from the caretakers that it's proving to be very beneficial. And I hope other people find the same thing.
Well, with your unique background, it seems like this book has such great wisdom with it that a lot of times people, I mean, you mentioned the gym earlier, it's like if they start another practice, it feels like, oh, I have to do a commitment like a gym. With this, I know in your book you talk about how you can basically turn to a certain page or something that you're drawn to and get the information you need to handle whatever that situation is.
Exactly. I developed the book uh, not so much so that a person could typically, as they typically do, start at the beginning of a book and go to the end, which is fine. Many people want to find out what the book is all about and what it contains, but rather turn to a section, and it may be only a page or a portion of a page that is beneficial to you at that point in time. It's meant to be a working tool and very user friendly. I find that to be the best for me. In fact, toward the end, I have included some forms that a person can reference back in quick fashion as to what is most helpful to them and tag those only. They don't have to reread the book or read a chapter, but just go to what is most important to them today.
I've heard you say that you didn't write this book because you have all the answers. So, what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is I am definitely not an expert. I am not an expert in this field. Well-being. I have lived a blessed life. Life is, as I mentioned, a great teacher. It's probably been my best teacher. And I think that is an important factor in the development of the book. I view the learning curve, and it's not a curve. I like to look at it as on a chart. It is a diagonal going up always. You're always learning. You're always becoming better. You're always growing, even in our worst moments. The the building of character is one that involves difficult times, failures, mistakes. It's what you do with that. What do you do with your worst times? When you're on top of the mountain, it's easy to look around and say, hey, everything is good, you know. But when you're at the depth of the valley and despair and you feel like no one cares, that's when those building blocks for your character that you used one by one, and that's where I'm talking about the steps in my book. You use those to build each building block of your character. It will see you through in difficult times. So that's what I'm talking about there.
I like how you start off your book with foundations and you talk about regulation, meaning, and purpose. Can you share a little bit about those three topics?
Yes, regulation refers to coming back to what is most important to you as an individual. Is it your family? Is it success at work? Is it living a healthier life? Is it being important to others, service? Is it being important to your children? And that means regulating your input, structuring your input. And from there, it means we use grounding. Use something that brings you back, that helps bring you back to a regulated homeostasis, a balance in your life. And through that, it will help you gain clarity and hope and internal peace. And with clarity, you can see better in making decisions and letting go of those things that don't lend to balance. And then, of course, continual growth, learning and continually growing into a better person for whatever your purpose is. All of this requires practice, and I find that gratitude is a very important thing. It will grow through practice. Hope will grow through practice. Calm will grow through practice. Self-regulation will grow through practice. And an important concept is that we're going to fail. We're not going to do this every day, every time we need it. And we're going to make mistakes. And we're going to make poor decisions. And we're going to engage in conflict, be it at the family level, the children level, which is family, of course, at work, wherever. We're going to fail. The important cycle is that you always be willing to return to what grounds you, to better regulate you, and to continue to grow in that area. And repetition is key to that. And it only takes 3, 5, 30 seconds, whatever you choose to spend on whichever practice you want to utilize.
Well, that makes that so doable for so many people that we're in such an overbusy world. Having just that few moments for ourselves, it could be in the car before we get out of the car for work or at home for say in the morning. I mean, what a powerful practice this is.
I find it very useful for myself. And fortunately, I have had feedback from my book already, which I'm very honored to have and humbled because, as I say, I'm not an expert. I'm just a simple person who wants to help others. And if it helps others, then my my objective, my goal has been reached. And I know that people fail. In today's world, technology seems to be king. And I would like for that to sink in for just a minute and everyone to just think about what bothers you today. Is it loss of connection with people? Because loneliness is a major factor. I saw where China is building robots to be friends, to be the important person or entity in lonely people's lives. And it's not just old people, elderly people, people my age. It's young people. Why? Because technology seems to rule our life today. I invite you to look about nature to get a true perspective of who is in control. Nature doesn't need the human race. We need nature. Nature will show you the interdependence of all living things. I say again, it doesn't need us. We need it. Learn from nature and learn that we were created or evolved, if you choose to believe that way, to be in charge of the domain on this earth. We are in charge. Take charge of your social media. Take charge of your children. Take charge of your family unit. Give purpose. Give direction. Unfortunately, we are seeing a dramatic increase in young people committing suicide. Veterans are still committing suicide at a high rate of approximately 20 per day. Within the past month, my wife and I have been told by young people, 3 young people who saw no hope, had no peace, didn't see any way out, and they chose to close the door on their life by committing suicide. They are at peace, but you know what they have done? Through that act of total loneliness and feeling no hope, they have traumatized everyone that loved them, that knew of them, even people that hear their stories and didn't know them, about the loss of a living human being that was young. I would like to interrupt that cycle through these simple steps that a person can do multiple times throughout the day. They can start the day off with it when their feet hit the floor. Just take a few seconds. That's all. A few seconds for yourself. take those deep breaths. Think about your purpose for today, what you want to accomplish. And before you go to bed, do the same thing. Put your feet flat on the floor, take a few deep breaths, and say to yourself, I'm going to let everything else go. I have earned a good night's rest.
Well, what a beautiful way to look at life and to move forward in life with such positivity and self-empowerment. And your book, Spiritual Strength for Everyday Life, brings that to so many people, Alan. Where can our listeners connect with you and be part of your community and learn more about your work?
They can connect with me on my website, alanlsinclair.com. They can connect with me via email at alansinclair.author@gmail.com. And I would invite anyone who would like to give me their feedback, and I would like for them to give me feedback as to this discussion that we've had. And Marianne, I go back to your mantra, that's what I'm calling it, is make every moment count. That's really what we're talking about. And of course, I would hope that those who feel the desire would go to Amazon and purchase my book, Spiritual Strength for Everyday Life, if they feel that it would serve a purpose for them or someone that they love. Thank you so much for the time you have given me. And for your listeners, I really appreciate the time that you have given us.
Well, thank you, Alan. It's been such an honor to spend this time with you and to talk about your new book, Spiritual Strength for Everyday Life. If you or someone you know is feeling like you're in a crisis, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is one call away at 988. You can call them from any phone, 988. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You're listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.